everybody. Welcome to the Knitting Place podcast. This is podcast number 18.
Correct, yes.
I'm Dina. I am the Knitting Place on Instagram, the Knitting Place on Facebook, and the Knitting Place on Ravelry, which I understand can be found on several pages in because somebody was looking for us. And
what do you mean several pages in?
When you do a search on Ravelry,
yeah,
and you look up the people search or friend search, whatever it's called, you type in the Knitting Place because there are so many thes. We're like on page 8. So persevere, look for the pink and orange.
And you can't skip it. You can't type Knitting Place. You have to type the Knitting Place, right?
I forget who it was. Thank you. I should put a shout out. I'll look on my Instagram phone in a moment and I'll say thank you. And who are you?
I'm Pam Sapp. Pam Sapp on Instagram and Pam Sapp on Ravelry.
Well, hello, Pam.
Hello,
Happy
Dina.
New Year, everyone.
Yes,
so big.
Dina and I are late wishing everyone a Happy New Year. Why is that, Dina?
Why is that? We're very late because I was out sick.
Dina was sick.
I was sick as a dog. I had the flu. That's how I turned the new year. It's really quite sad, actually.
Did you get any knitting done?
No, because I was horizontal for quite a bit of the time. I've never been so sick in my life. I've never had influenza.
You've never had that before?
Never.
Oh, listen.
And it was a horrible way to ring in the new year.
I had a flu shot this year.
Smart.
I usually don't go. I happened to be at the doctor.
So that's the whole thing now, because I was never a firm believer of the flu shot. And guess what? I don't think there'll be another year that goes by that I don't get the flu shot.
That's what everyone says. Once you've had the flu, you'll always get the shot. I've, knock wood, never had the flu. And I happened to be at the doctor this year. And the doctor said, did you get a flu shot yet? And I said, no. It was Halloween, actually. It was Halloween. And he said, well, you work in a school. He said, that's like being, he compared me to somebody. Oh, Clint Eastwood. He said, that's like Clint Eastwood. You're crazy. Anyway, so what are we doing?
Well, first off, a shout out to Judy Muscroft. I just looked you up. Thank you very much for bringing it to my attention.
What's that?
That is the fact that we are on she's the one who brought it to my attention that said we're on page 7 or 8 on Ravelry when you do research.
Wow.
So if you're looking for us, please persevere. We're there. You just might have to thumb through a few pages.
Well, Dina,
so what do we have?
We got a gift from a few of our clients. From Erica, Tara, and Rachel. I just combined all their names into one. And we told them that we would open it on a podcast.
Yes.
I'm not going to open it to a shoot.
Please don't. Last thing I need is a black eye.
Ooh, wow.
Happy New Year.
That came right off.
Nice.
Anyway, so we're going to have a little bubbly to ring in 2019. 2018 is over and gone, good and bad, as every year is, right?
Yep.
And on to...
Very looking forward to the new year. And then
a new year.
Rang it in with the flu.
Well, you got all the bad stuff out of the way.
Exactly. Getting past the flu. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, that's good.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, that's very good.
Erica, Tara, Rachel, thank
you very much.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Yum. And we got other bubblies.
Listen, you could look at it. You could have had the flu for Vogue.
Oh, that would have been
a disaster.
Can you imagine?
So it was good that you got it now.
Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
So if you hear me cough, I'm sorry. I might have a little bit of a sniffle. I might actually have to go get a tissue, but
that's okay. That's very good, actually.
It's
you should
delicious.
take the rest of it home.
That is so good.
And share it with your hubby tonight.
I think we should drink tomorrow.
Well, we should drink because we're getting ready for Vogue. So we do need, every time we get ready, we need a couple of a cocktail.
Definitely.
Right? Cocktail.
Working late.
Our mannequins are empty, as you can see.
We are working hard, trying to bring new things to the table. So stay tuned. We're going to have a Vogue.
We're going to try to Vogue a podcast before Vogue.
Right. So you'll see, hopefully you'll see a few things right before.
Well, especially because not everyone can go to Vogue.
Exactly.
Not everyone is at Vogue.
We'll try to be conscientious and maybe getting a few kits going for you guys so that if you're feeling FOMO, which is
what is FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
Okay, I always have to think with that one for some reason. I don't know why.
It was funny the other night. What's FOMO? Was that Patty? We had a really fun night.
Yes.
We all went out. A bunch of the Long Island yarn shop owners. We went out and whatever it was. a stitch, to say the least.
It was fun.
It was. All right.
So what are we doing to get ready for Vogue?
What are we doing? We're making lists. We're checking them twice.
Yeah, we did that tonight. We made a bunch of lists.
We're talking about the garments. So there's a lot that goes on in going to Vogue.
Correct.
Not only is it making sure you have your pieces, your garments, your inventory, things are tagged. You need to have bags. You need to have the register.
Yeah.
There are
and
so
plus
many.
And then you take all of that you've done, and then you have to take it all into the city.
Yeah.
All of that has
Pack
to come
the car.
Oh, and then you have to unpack the car.
You almost feel like you're moving a child into college.
Right.
That's what it feels like.
It's like when you go grocery shopping, right? You just have to
Costco.
Put it in the car
Not
and
grocery
take
shopping.
it out.
More like Costco, trying to fit it all
worse
in.
Than Costco, yeah, exactly. But it's a fun, we always look forward to it because it's a fun event. We get to meet lots of people. We meet new people. We meet people we've met in the past because how many years have we been doing Vogue, Dina?
Is it 7?
At least 7 years.
7 years. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing it for quite a long time. So
but this year, Dina took the plunge.
I know you guys.
She took the plunge. What's the plunge you took, Dina?
2 booths.
2 booths.
Oh. So for all of you who've always found that it's always too crowded and you can't get in.
Can't move. You can't get in.
Hopefully this year
yep.
you will have a chance to come in.
Absolutely.
And not walk just past our booth or give us that wave hello. You'll hopefully be able to actually come in, which would be really nice.
Which would be nice, yeah. So it'll be fun.
So.
As long as we don't have snow.
Yeah. So it's a week later this year. Usually it's Martin Luther King weekend. And just for the record, we are in booth 721 and 820.
Why do they have 2 different numbers and they're next to each other?
2 different aisles. They're considered 2 different aisles.
Okay.
So
that's hard to remember. 721
and 820. I'm right by the fashion show.
You're right by the stage.
By the stage, which is always nice. And yeah.
What are you wearing on your head, Dina?
I am wearing a new hat that we'll be taking to Vogue. It's called City Slickers. And I don't know if you can see, but it hopefully is sparkling.
Yeah, I can see the sparkle. Move your head around. There you go. When you move your head around, the pom-pom moves a little bit. Moves. And this is the
vegan pom-pom.
The vegan pom-pom.
So we got a nice delivery in, and we'll have those at the show, which is something that we haven't had in the past.
It's pretty color.
We'll have the Tanuki pom-poms. So this will actually be available as a kit, the City Slickers kit. So if you're interested, that's what you should look for.
That's correct.
So as some really good advice. I don't know about you guys, but I know I went to Edinburgh last year, and it's really quite overwhelming when you go to these shows. There's so many booths, and everybody has terrific things. You really should make a list of things you want to get.
Right.
Try to make your top 9 or your top 5, whatever it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a cowl, if you can categorize it, a cowl, a sock,
sweater.
Pair of socks, sweaters, a poncho, a shawl,
Sometimes
a cowl.
it's just even a skein of someone's yarn. A skein of yarn.
It could be an indie dyer that you're looking for, absolutely. It could be just meeting people.
Right.
But make your list and try to go knowing what you want to make and buying the yarn to make it. Right. It's always very helpful.
Well, if you have a plan, it's always good to have a plan.
Definitely.
And you can also go on the website, Vogue's website, and see who's going to be vending there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you may not realize that someone is going to be there and there's something you'd like to get.
Right. So,
but it's fun.
What are you wearing?
Right now?
Right now. You just finished that.
I did. This is, I think it's called Roku, R-O-K-U by, I always get this wrong.
Is that Olga?
No.
Oh.
It's either...
the other one is Olga.
It's either Isabel Kramer or Heidi Kramer, and I always get the 2 of them mixed up. But I will check it, and it's out of Maxima.
That's a nice Manos.
You could also, actually, this would be lovely if you put some mohair in it. If you put a silk mohair.
We have silk cloud, I think.
Silk cloud, that's what I meant.
Very close to
I was thinking of that. I was making this over the break. So.
It's awesome. It really came out great. I love the detail on the top, the way it kind of like narrows at the top.
Yes, and it's also
a full closure.
It's also a reversible hat. So the way she does the decrease, you can wear it this way, or you could wear it the way I had it. which was this way.
It's called Roku.
Roku, and she also she has different ways of wearing it, and she shows it on the
Right.
If
you
go
can
to
actually
the
pull
Ravelry.
it down and cuff it, right?
And cuff it up. I don't want to stop playing with it because I don't want to stretch it out too much before. But I will find the name of the pattern for you.
Thank you, Pam.
You're very welcome.
Well, I was away during Christmas break, which was really nice. We went to the Virgin Islands, the British
I'm
Virgin
totally
Islands.
wrong. It is Olga.
It is Olga.
It is Olga.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, stand corrected.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Olga. So, it's the Roku Hat by OlgaJazzy.
ROKU by Olga.
Yeah, so I was away for Christmas break. We were on a boat, on a catamaran.
Yep.
And I actually didn't get that much knitting done.
Well, I can imagine why. It's
Well,
like the
it was
motion,
raining.
The motion.
Right. It was raining every day.
Right.
And tropical rain's nothing crazy.
Right.
But when you're going island hopping, you're going across the waters, and there's is it the north trade winds? I forget what the captain said.
Right.
P.S. about between 5 to 9 foot swells going from one island to the other. The catamaran is like...
I don't do well on boats like that.
Oh, my God. So
now,
trying to knit...
Let me ask you a very silly question. It's like a sailboat.
It's a sailboat.
Okay, so it's not a motorboat.
Well, it does have a motor. So if the winds weren't enough...
They would go into the motor. But otherwise,
or if it's too strong, we couldn't sail. We actually had to motor.
I did that with a friend once, and I'd never been on a sailboat before, only on a motorboat. And I didn't realize the way they go into those waves. Oh, my God. I was so
sometimes
sick.
You're crashing on the waves,
yes,
and sometimes you are rocking.
You're rocking with it back. I was so sick.
Oh, my God.
They told me that I was green that day.
There was one day that I was just shy of really losing it.
Right. So never mind knitting. How could you knit on that?
I could not really knit that much. But I did manage on the airplane back due to our horrific...
Oh, you had a crazy trip back too.
Crazy return home.
Well, I think that's where you got sick. It was the come home.
Well, especially when I was sandwiched between those two sick people. One woman had the sniffles, and the guy next to me.
No, well, that's probably what it is.
For
then.
sure.
For sure, you picked up something
coughing.
That recycled air on the plane.
It was nasty,
terrible. Yeah.
nasty,
terrible.
So we had a canceled flight. Got on another flight. Made it to Texas. Had another flight. Anyway, it was bad. So yeah. Managed to get some knitting done on the plane, though. A lot of plane hours. So that's where I got the bulk of my knitting done.
Which is nice.
Yep. And then I had good intentions, of course, for New Year's Eve. Excuse me. The new cast on.
You weren't sick New Year's Eve.
No, I was not.
Oh, you actually cast on.
Yeah, I did cast on. I did. Started my new design. Oh, what are you going through? A hat change?
Well, I'm just thinking. We have so many hats. Yeah, this is a hat change. This was Vogue 2018.
Yes.
Right?
But it will be coming back to
We'll
Vogue
bring
19.
it with us. I love this hat.
Was that Andrea Mowry?
What does it say? Can you read it?
Tincture. Yep.
Andrea Mowry.
Mm-hmm.
I used Woolfolk Taupe DK on this.
Right.
This was fun. This was mosaic knitting. It's not like
Mosaic is
stranded
big.
work.
No.
I love mosaic. Love mosaic.
So the difference is with mosaic knitting, you're knitting and slipping as opposed to stranding your work.
Carrying it.
Right. So that's really nice.
Isn't this a pretty hat? I love this. I think this hat has been very much neglected. I really do. It was an easy knit. The pattern was well written. And I enjoyed making it. And you can look like you're doing color work when it's mosaic, which is 2 rows, one color, 2 rows, another color. 2 rows, one color, 2 rows, another color. I don't know. Sorry. Didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. So what else could we tell you?
What have I finished knitting? Well, I've done some. Really, what I've knit has basically been for Vogue, I think.
Yeah, you're working on a cowl, so I could tell you that. Oh, gotta fix my hair now.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Hat here.
We're doing a cabled hat. I could tell you that we're going to have a cabled hat done in Echo Cashmere from Blue Sky. We are thinking about casting on. Is it Nina? What's her name?
Who?
Getting Pearly with it.
Yes.
Getting
Nina
Pearly.
Ricci.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Put a palm on it, so we're going to do our version.
And we'll have plenty of palms.
Plenty of palms. We're going to have natural palms, and we're going to also have the vegan palms. And I'm noticing that I really need color. So,
well, you have to wait until Vogue for that.
Yeah. I don't wait
you got to get your Vogue due.
Yeah, it's all timing. It's like I have to
Exactly.
stretch it out now.
Exactly.
If I get my color done too early, it's just going to grow back from
Right.
all the stress. So we're expecting to bring some sweaters, cowls, some shawls, ponchos, different yarns. We'll have Woolfolk. We'll have, hopefully, spin cycles.
Some accessories, some bags, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So we
as
do
much
hope,
as we can carry.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the thing.
Right. We have a lot. It's
And
like
we don't
strategy.
stay in the city. I mean, we're, 20 miles from Manhattan, maybe?
Right.
If that much,
I mean,
not
it's a
even.
40-minute drive.
But we, the first year we stayed there.
Yes. Which was kind of nice.
Which was nice. Well, it's nice because, after, you're always so tired after the show. But usually what Dina and I do is we take our yearly picture in Times Square. We go down and have a bite to eat, right? And we take
That's
a
nice.
picture.
I hope
we
it's
can
not
have a
gonna be too
collage of our pictures. Oops.
Excuse me, guys.
We can have we usually not, they don't know how they come out each year, but whatever. We've had a lot of fun pictures.
Definitely.
And
Probably not that good about posting them.
No,
we should do
but we have them. I'm sure we both have them on our phones, right?
Yes.
And, and then, sometimes we'll come back to the shop and we'll take some things in that we need. If a customer wanted something.
Constant.
And so,
do you have a needle or do you have, I saw this on an old podcast.
Right.
If it's something that we didn't bring.
But we're lucky that we can do that because we're not that far away.
So we kind of spoil you guys.
So
we go back and we do special trips.
Well, I think that we should just, spend a night in the city then one night. And treat ourselves, right?
That lingering cough, I hope to have it gone before Vogue.
Well, it's been a tough year.
Yep. A lot of people sick.
Yeah, pneumonia. My husband had pneumonia. Shell's husband had pneumonia.
Crazy.
I
didn't even speak to her yet.
Yeah, I spoke to her over the weekend, and she had a cold. She had something going on. I said, you got it from your husband. I had a cold back in December. That was, I have to tell you, I haven't had a cold that bad in years. It was awful.
Well, like I said, first time for me with the flu, and I feel like I've paid
done.
my dues for the year.
Yeah, so you don't have to be sick for the rest of the winter.
Not be sick for the year.
Anyway.
So should I talk about what I'm wearing?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. I did say that it was silk.
Well, you didn't say much about it, though.
Okay, sorry. So this is Like a Cloud, which is what I finished on vacation.
We had a shop knit along with this.
Yes.
In the fall.
And I'm embarrassed to say we started this one in August.
Oh, yeah. July, I hate to tell you. It was August 1st, I think.
It's from Locatelli.
Love that piece.
I really do love it.
This is the kind of piece that you'll wear all the time. Yeah. It's light as really a feather, light. Just like it says Like a Cloud.
It's called Like a Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
It's done in Shibui silk cloud coupled with Cima. One strand and one strand. And it's knit together throughout.
Seamless construction.
There is no sewing.
There's no sewing
at all.
If you can believe that.
Yeah, it's a brilliant kudos to Joji for doing
Well, mine is on the needle, and mine is about up to, pick your arm up, Dina. I'm up to here.
Really?
So I have to do all of this and my sleeves.
Do your sleeves first.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do my sleeves first. Why, the sleeves are tedious?
It's not that they're tedious. I find that when I was doing you're going to probably do it on DPNs.
What did you do it on?
I did Magic Loop, and it doesn't matter what you do.
I'm probably going to use Flexi Flips.
Whatever your vice is, whatever you use. The Flexi Flips, which we should probably have at Vogue.
Yeah, we'll have those at Vogue, too.
Whatever you're using, what ends up happening is you have the weight of the sweater as you're turning and going in the round.
That's the problem. So that's why you're saying that does make sense.
When you have less weight, you actually do move more quickly.
Maybe I will do that. I have to get Flexi Flips then. I don't think I said what size I'm on now. It's been so long since I picked it up. So. I did pick it up over the break.
Did you?
I did, because it's the kind of, it's not a difficult pattern.
Well, I did bring a sweater to cast on.
Right.
And I said, you know what?
I'm going to finish this.
Well, you know how I am. The beginning of the year, I always feel like I have to get at least an old FO done. So I did it.
Well, you know what I did this year?
Nice. And I actually picked up my second unfinished object.
Which was?
My Ingalls.
Oh, I thought that was the sweater you cast on.
No. Oh. This was started.
Oh, I didn't know that. What sweater were you casting on?
The one out of Flet from Woolfolk, which I did not do.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even go there.
That's a lot.
That's very pretty.
That's very pretty, Dina.
You like it?
What did you use? Madeline Tosh?
Madeline Tosh DK. And I used DK, and I actually paired it with a single strand of...
There's glitter in there.
Glitter mohair, yeah.
Where'd you get the glitter mohair?
Kid Silk Haze. actually.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what is that? It's very pretty.
Thank you.
Very
So I'm pretty. So this is what I was actually trying to knit while I was home in bed sick, and as you can
now
see,
you should do the sleeves on that now.
I probably should. But I'm so busy doing a new technique, which I showed you guys the other night.
Yeah.
It's the Jogless Join.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are familiar. The helical.
Helical, that's what it is.
Helical knitting. And it's just brilliant. I'm integrating 2 skeins right now in here in the body. So I'm ending one skein, and I don't want there to be a drastic color change.
Right.
So I'm actually alternating skeins, and I'm using the helical or jogless join. And you're basically getting this invisible. I mean, when you look inside my sweater,
there's no carry-up line.
There is no carry-up line.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
So it's clean on the inside, and you don't have any of those like pulled stitches along the side. So this was fun. I always like to try something new.
Well, it's interesting.
So thank you, Claire. If you watch this, I appreciate the tip on the technique.
It's interesting because my daughter Audrey has been knitting lately, which is lovely.
Awesome.
Which is lovely. So one of her gifts for Christmas was a sweater quantity of the yarn to make a pattern. I think it's called Lovotan or something on Ravelry. I'm not sure, but it's a little bit of a. It has a little bit of positive ease. It's something like the boxy, but it's not as big.
Okay.
And it's got top-down construction. It has short rows in the back, and it has, the yarn over drop, the elongated stitch. It's got a little bit of that going on up here. And then I think it just goes straight down.
Okay.
And then you've got your arms. So, of course, she's never done a short row. I didn't tell you this story, Dana.
No.
She's never done a short row. She had to do the gauge.
And then it was got her needles.
She did, but she was supposed to use a 3, and the needle set started with 4.
Okay.
So this was our dilemma when we were away for Christmas. But luckily, I had brought my case of. Are you okay?
Yes. I'm so sorry.
I had brought my case of my 16-inch circulars.
Okay.
And you know how it goes. The one size you need.
You didn't have it.
Not that I didn't have it. You know what I didn't have? I didn't have a gauge. Check. A gauge.
Oh, to check
what size needle. The needles weren't marked, but anyway, I know what most of them are anyway. So anyway, we muddled through that, and then she gets home, and
what yarn was she using?
It was a Barnyard yarn.
Okay.
From Barnyard.
Okay.
Barnyard, whatever it's called. It's an indie dyer from I don't know, the Carolinas somewhere, and she had to do make ones, and she didn't know how to do make ones, so I told her how to do make ones. But it's interesting because it's like
Was she learning from you, or were you?
Yes, she was learning from me, but we had
YouTube?
our moments. We had our moments where it's like, whether you get the
mother-daughter. Like, it's so funny when we get customers coming in and they want to learn with their child, right? Like a mother-daughter team.
I don't like doing moms and daughters together. Yeah, I like doing them separate.
So was it like that where you were
She was telling me, it's amazing because they somehow make you feel as though, I work in a yarn shop.
Clearly you know what you're doing.
Clearly I know what I'm doing. And then when she got to short rows, she was at home, and then it's like she's telling me, well, I did that, but they, you know how they are. With sometimes you get like a little bit of an attitude,
This is over the phone.
It's like mom doesn't know. Mom doesn't know. And so, anyway, so that was very interesting. So she got through the short rows. Now she's doing the elongated, which she did on her own. She didn't, I spoke to her last night, and she'd already done 1 or 2 repeats of the elongated stitch. So we'll see. But talking about, what reminded me of it is talking about your method, the helix, whatever it is.
Is that an indie dye, you said?
It's an indie dye. So it occurred to me that I should have told her to alternate skeins.
Well, I didn't do it throughout.
Right.
I wait until the ball is a certain
and she could do that now, but it's very hard over the phone to tell someone, and I find that she's a little resistant to me telling her certain things about it. So, in any event, you know what? I tell her what I can. And, it's very hard to explain a technique. Video. It's very hard to explain a technique over the phone.
I should actually link. You should share the link of the video that I watched for the Jogless
Yeah, we
Join.
should. You should send that to me.
I might actually put it on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll send that to her.
I will send that to her.
It's a
great link.
Because, for you, Well, for anybody who's carrying up a yarn, you don't have that jog line, which is fabulous. But the other benefit with the indie yarns is you don't end up with the,
ball banding
where you could see the color difference. And even though Audrey said to me, well, the skeins don't look different. Well, it's different when you start knitting them.
It always in the pull, like when it's hanging in a skein,
right.
Whether it's sitting on a shelf or hanging on a peg,
Right,
you can't
right.
really tell the subtle variations. But once you start knitting, there's always
Right.
that rigid line.
So we'll see. Listen, some people don't care. Some people, they don't care if there's a band or there's a such and such, I would care.
Yeah.
I would care. I mean, especially if I could see a really visible difference. It would bother me every time I wore the sweater. I probably wouldn't wear it.
Right.
If I could see that.
I mean, this sweater happened to be different dye lots, but you can't tell.
Right. Right. Yeah, but that was different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an indie dyer kind of a situation. But...
And I'm blending 2 yarns, so it didn't
Right,
matter
exactly.
with the halo. And all that.
So, but that was very interesting. It's very
I'm
interesting.
gonna link that.
I didn't tell you that story over the weekend.
No.
I'll tell you about it when we're not on camera.
No.
But it was fun. You know how it is. Come on. You know how it is.
Totally. So, what else can we share? I could share that my husband, this was really funny with the flu.
Oh, yeah, you tell me that. Yeah.
So, I have to tell you, in my life, he's never pampered me so much.
Oh, good. That's
really.
That's a benefit.
My mother-in-law
you probably
called.
were never that sick.
Never. And I think he was truly scared. I felt like I was dead. It was really scary. And then he started, he's online. He's one of those,
He's looking
what's the percentage of people that die from the flu per year? And he's like really in a panic when he saw me like having a difficult time breathing. I mean, you heard me cough now. This was nothing. I could barely catch my breath.
Right,
it was really bad.
Coughing, sure.
And body aches. I couldn't get out of bed.
Your fever.
And I hardly ever skip a day of work.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
I didn't come in for a week.
Yeah.
So unlike me. So all the pampering, the kids and everything. And I'm telling you, my husband had flu envy. He totally stayed home from work on Friday.
We all know, like when your husband gets sick,
He is the biggest baby, but let me tell you, my mother brought me like sun-kissed oranges. She's like, Dina, you need vitamin C. So funny because he's like, I want oranges, and he was eating half my oranges.
Eating half your oranges.
The funniest thing. It was very funny.
Well, they say sometimes men are the worst patients, right?
Oh yes, right. My husband is the biggest. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but mine.
So he probably, it's not so much that he had flu envy, but he felt he was catching it from you. He felt that he was going to come down with the flu.
He was so not symptomatic, although he claims that he was. It's all good.
So far, no one else
kids were cracking up.
So far, no one else has come down with the flu in here. I think you caught it on the plane.
Probably.
Now, in my house, over the Christmas...
And airborne. I always have airborne with me.
Did you have it with you?
I did not take it with me.
No. You should have it. You always have to have that. Over the Christmas break, my daughter started on Christmas Eve with the stomach bug.
Oh, God.
She was out Christmas Eve. My other daughter was out Christmas Day.
I got it. The house?
Then we came home, and I got it. We came home on Wednesday. I got it Thursday night. My son got it Friday night, and my husband got it Sunday night. There was only one of us that did not get it. So
I have to say, although my husband claims he had the flu,
he didn't.
Nobody else got the flu.
Nobody else got the flu. Well, that's good. That's very good that nobody else got it.
Yeah, it's great.
Where did he sit on the plane? He didn't sit by these sick people?
No, so because we were rebooked on this flight, we were all sitting, all 6 of us, there were 10 seats.
We're sitting separate.
Correct.
Because you had to sit wherever you
could.
Onesies. Right. You
I
draw
had
the
worst
sandwich.
Straw. Worst.
Straw.
Oh, my God.
Ends up with the sick people.
Horrible.
Oh, that's not good. Well, hopefully it's all gone, and Dinah will be healthy for Vogue, and we'll be all there with all the new stuff. But I think we are going to podcast before, correct?
Yes. I think what we're going to do is do a preview for Vogue Live.
Correct.
So we'll show you everything and hopefully inspire some of you. If you are coming to Vogue, and if you're not, maybe I'll order online.
That's right, exactly. And Dinah and I were just talking before the podcast that we would like to try to podcast from Vogue.
That might be pushing.
No, but you know what you could do? You could do a video. You could video while you're there. At the very least, you could do video.
Right, but last time I think we had a problem with the phone, with the sound. I have to maybe go to Apple and check
out. But that's what people do. They walk through with their phones and they do a video.
Guys, if you're into podcasting and anybody who wants to give a tip on how to podcast from Vogue Live, please send a shout out.
Yeah, we'll do it. It doesn't have to be the best quality.
No.
To show them what's around, what's going on.
Absolutely.
I look like a dog. Look what I look like. Oh, my God.
All right.
It's too late. It's time to go home.
Time to go home. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Have a good night.
We'll see you soon.
See you next time. Bye.